Welcome back. Good to have you in. Joe Looney is now the Dallas Cowboys starting center. Opened in the NFL with the Niners, Titans, and now he's been for the Cowboys almost half a decade now. And Joe Looney is now joining us. For the record, he's been at home with a kindergartner for about 10 days. How much fun? Now, it's fun. Are you exhausted?
Oh, man, I'm so tired around here. You know what? These kindergarten teachers need a raise. They need my salary. They're really out here, being the true heroes.
So Travis Frederick is as good a center as this league has had in a long time. It is. Listen, if you back up Travis Frederick, at least you're backing up the world's best player at his position. Were you shocked when he retired?
Yeah, Travis is a great football player, and to see that news, it was it was unbelievable. But I respect his decision, and he came out and said that he was dealing with. I got kids, that I got to play with for the rest of my life too, and if something was harming me or going to get in the way of that, I would have to make that decision too.
Joe Looney, Cowboys center, joining us. My doubt very strongly we're going to have OTAs. As somebody who's been around this league for now 8 years, how affected would you be having no OTA?
Well, since I've been in the league a long time, I really know how these offenses work. I know how the league operates. I think the biggest challenge if we don't have OTAs is going to be for younger guys who are coming into the league who have to learn these playbooks, which are, just mentally they're, on another level than college. You're going through so much checks and balances and whatnot in the playbook. So, it's really going to affect them. For us older guys, I think at some point when the coronavirus, starts, we start flattening the curve and we're able to go and work out with each other. I think, the wide receivers and quarterbacks are going to be able to get there. They're timing down. And, ultimately, it's going to be how much time they got to, these young guys to learn these playbooks.
Dak is going to get a contract here. And, it's been a lot of pushback, and you've played for a lot of teams. The Cowboys, it's just different, isn't it, being a Dallas Cowboy?
Yeah, we're always on TV, whether it's good or bad or, in between. We're always going to be on TV. And, it's fun. It's fun to always have that kind of target on your back. I think every athlete, wants that pressure on them, to perform and show people that they could, block out the noise too.
Are you concerned Mike McCarthy's going to have a new system? Are you a little bit concerned that you go, will you be able to can you call Mike? Could you get a playbook? Can you get started on it sitting at home?
Well, no, obviously, sitting at home, we all can't do anything. I think the best thing we can do as players is to make sure, we're still getting our workouts, whether it's, trying to find a hill to run outside or, doing that, making sure that we're in shape for, when they do say, okay, it's time to come back, and then it's really time to roll. So I think that's what, we could do right now. It's most important as players.
Do you think Dak at all is a little frustrated with the negotiations? I mean, if I was in negotiations with my bosses for a year and a half, I think it would be exhausting. Do you think he's ever gotten kind of exhausted by it or frustrated?
Man, Dak, is a great guy, man. He's one of the best human beings I've ever met. And I don't think he gets frustrated. I think, as athletes, this is just all something we have to go through. The business process is something that's, part of the game. But I truly feel, Dak just wants to be out there on that field, man. He wants to get a W. And, he's one of those guys that, deserves that heroic moment because of the way he works and the way he carries himself. And, whether, he gets a big contract, franchise tag, whatever it is, this kid just wants to win football games.
Joe Looney, Cowboys center, offensive lineman, is joining us. When a new CBA was agreed upon, which for my business means I get the NFL to talk about for 10 more years, some of the star players didn't love it. But, Joe, when that contract was signed, you were a backup. Now you'll be a starter. Take me into your thought process with the new CBA as a backup, as kind of a guy in the NFL, not a superstar player. How did you view that whole process?
Right. I viewed it from two different standpoints. I viewed it from my standpoint, And also, I have a younger brother, James Looney, that plays for the Green Bay Packers, and I viewed it, from his standpoint too. I want my brother to be able to, play in the league as long as he can and make as much money as he can. And from my standpoint, it looked like it was helping out the veteran players and the younger players in the league. It was putting money in their pockets for the hard work that they do, and they deserve it.
There's a possibility, I think it could be somewhat remote, but it's still a possibility that what if you had to play with no fans for September and early October because the virus still wasn't quite at a place where we're comfortable putting 70,000 people shoulder to shoulder? Would it be weird to play with no fans for you?
Hey, Kyle, let me tell you, if there was no fans in that stadium, when our defense was on the field, I'd be screaming the loudest. It sounded like 70,000 fans were in that stadium. Because, that's not what you're trying to win games out here on Sunday. That's what you put behind it. But, as far as, the fans being in the stadium, if this does carry out longer than we expect, I think it's wise for us to definitely follow the guidelines that were presented. I got two parents down in Florida. Quick shout out to all my family. The Loonies down in Florida watching this. I got two parents down in Florida that are over 60 years old, and I wouldn't want to do anything to put their lives in jeopardy. So I think it's important that we do, follow these guidelines, whether, you're an essential worker or a non-essential worker.
By the way, are your parents okay?
Yes, they're doing great down there. I bet my dad's probably looking at the TV screen right now, screaming, "Big cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs." He was my coach growing up in Little League, me and my brother. So, he was definitely the football teacher, and my mom was just the glue that held it all together.
Moms are always the glue that hold it all together. Joe Looney, well, congratulations. You're the starting center for the Dallas Cowboys. That sounds great, doesn't it?
Oh, man, it does. And, it's a true honor. I just want to go out there, man, make Travis proud and, make all those, great offensive line guys, that played here, with the Cowboys, that great tradition, and just keep it going. We got guys like Zach Martin, Tyron Smith, LC, Connor Williams. The way these guys come to work every day, it makes you want to be a better football player. So I just got to give all the thanks to them.
Joe, you're a good guy. Have fun with your family, and social distancing is unique, but you're adhering to it. I love to hear that, and thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Appreciate you having me on.
Joe Looney of the Dallas Cowboys. So, good show today. Ryan Russillo pushed back at me from the ringer in the first hour. Mark Cuban, very informational. And Joe Looney, that is an opportunity presented that he probably didn't predict. He is now the starting center on one of the better offensive lines in the NFL. I actually think when you enter a business and it's established, like the Cowboy O-line, and it's good, it's inspiring. You feel a certain responsibility to step up and play great. I think he'll do fine. You got plans this weekend. Be prepared. Windshield wipers that can handle anything. Michelin Endurance XD silicone wiper blades are real-world proven for extreme weather performance. They are available only at Walmart. Some thoughts. Eli Manning yesterday was talking about the challenges for Daniel Jones and the New York Giants. And there are 8 teams in the NFL. He was talking, Eli, about, new coach, new system. Does Daniel Jones take a step back? There are 8 teams in the NFL. The Bengals, the Giants, the Cleveland Browns, the Dallas Cowboys, Miami, Tampa Bay with Tom Brady, Carolina at Washington, where you either have a new coach, you have a new quarterback in a new system, you have a new coordinator. And it's interesting. How will it affect those teams? I do think there is one thing that I've always thought matters, and I get a lot of crap for it, because I make a big deal out of it every single year. And finally, for the first time, 20 years or 15 or whatever it's been of me doing syndicated radio, the one day that I go nuts on every year and you people push back and say I'm overhyping it, I'm finally right. It took me 20 years, but why the NFL schedule release will never, ever, I suspect, be as important as this year. That's coming up. Discover matches all the cash back you earn on your credit card end of the first year, accepted at 99% of the places that take cards. Get used to hearing yes. Discover.com/yes. Joe Buck, Jason McIntyre on the corner.